Winds can cause a lot of damage, so strong they even have the potential to cause injury.
KCTV5's Betsy Webster continues our team coverage with some advice on preparing for those gusts, especially if you have a lot of Christmas decorations in your front yard. And that's certainly the case at one house in Olathe. Betsy, tell us where you are.
Oh, I'm at PAULIE'S Penguin Playground. It's a tongue twister. PAULIE'S Penguin Playground in Olathe, home to about 200 inflatable holiday decorations. And you just missed it a few moments ago. Just a slight gust of wind had some of these things moving around on us. You know, 200 is far too many to remove them all. And every year, in fact, they do lose a few.
Oh, there you go. There's Junior.
25-foot Junior was put out to pasture after taking a beating in a less strong wind last week.
We're going to take down Penguinzilla.
Penguinzilla is Junior's dad, 35 feet tall, and the most pricey penguin in the bunch. But the rest are bunched so tightly together, tied to each other, and screwed into wooden platforms that owner Paul Craig expects he'll only lose a few. That's based on 60-mile-an-hour gusts he got a couple years ago.
And the pallets and the platforms that all the inflatables were sitting on would jump up about 3 feet in the air, and then they'd go back down. So they would stay in place, and you could just hear thunk.
Whether your blow-ups will blast off the ground is just a tiny piece of what to prep for. You'll want to watch where, when, and how fast you're driving.
If you're driving at a higher speed in a higher profile vehicle, be very aware that that wind can shift you around.
And prepare for the likelihood of a power outage.
You want to make sure your cell phone's charged. You want to make sure that you have an emergency kit, so it should be stocked up with items like fresh batteries, a battery-powered radio, and a flashlight.
Take a look at where your trees are to figure out what parts of the house you should avoid. The Weather Service offered this image. Olathe Fire simplified it.
And really the best thing you can do is stay indoors and away from glass.
As for your inflatables, they're not life or limb, but they're not cheap.
We'll have this seam just ripped out, and so they're toast. If you're one of those folks that have them individually packed out and you're into the ground and there's got the ties to each one, deflate those sons of guns, put a bag of sand on them, and wait till the windstorm's over.
Now, another thing you're going to want to do now is make sure that you're signed up for severe weather alerts on your phone. That could be with your local government agency, with the local National Weather Service branch, or your favorite TV station, or a combination of those. Bottom line is, when the power goes out, your TV goes out, and although there are sirens that will sound for tornadoes, there are no such sirens for warnings of straight line winds that can do just as much damage. Live in Olathe, Kansas, Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.
Betsy, thank you. And KCTV5 will be watching for any changes to the forecast overnight. Bill Hurlbrink will have an updated forecast on KCTV5 News this morning, starting at 4:30.